Hello everyone, welcome to Passion Studies. My name is Dikshant Sharma, and today we have in conversation with us the author of the book Be Future Proof, Mr. Vikas Verma. I welcome you, sir, on our channel, and thanks for giving your valuable time to us.
Thank you, Dikshant, for having me on your channel. It's a pleasure for me to be here.
I would say, the privilege of all the passionates who are watching this video, that today you will be hearing a lot of valuable and informative tips and tricks to unlock your career in this AI age. And today sir is going to tell us about his journey, that how he got inspired to write this wonderful book, which is absolutely very amazing when I had a read on this. So without wasting the time, let's start this video. Before moving further, I want to introduce Mr. Vikas Verma to our audience. Mr. Vikas Verma is the regional head for North India at United Nations Development Programme UNDP. Hailing from Punjab, he is marketing, fundraising and communication professional with MBA and 37 years experience, 16 years in private sector in advertising and marketing, and 21 in development sector at UN. Mr. Verma has made significant contributions to the fields of sustainable development, poverty alleviation and social inclusion. As a passionate SDG and sustainability advocate, he pioneered and established the SDG Coordination Centres in India for UNDP. So just like his personal journey marked by transitions and triumphs, he is dedicated to guiding professionals towards future-proof careers, helping corporates towards future-ready businesses, partnering with governments towards future-focused governance, and encouraging new startups and social enterprises towards winning secure and valuable solutions. Today, as we see, with great expertise and value addition to this, he has made a very great contribution towards the literary and author work, which I would say is one of the biggest accomplishments of this Be Future Proof. This book is not just about career, but it has a very multi-dimensional aspect of sustainability, that how sustainability can be a game changer for your upcoming career, or whether you are in the mid of your career. So this book is for everyone who is trying to give a read to it. They will going to find it something, I would say, really a change maker for their life. And the solutions which you will find in this, they are, I would say, unbelievable, that can really shape your career and the path you are moving towards your success. So without wasting the time, let's start the conversation with sir.
Thank you.
Sir, my first question to you will be that what actually made you inspire, and like what was the idea behind this great write-up?
There were many things actually, Dikshant, which all converged together to, if I may say, conspire to bring this book up. But the major thing being that Be Future Proof is a philosophy. It's a mindset that one needs to have to be invincible, to be sustainable in one's career, to be able to make a change and adapt to the changes around us. In terms of inspiration, if you ask me, first inspiration was my mentor himself, Dr. Daisaku Ikeda. He's a Buddhist philosopher based out of Japan, and I have been following Dr. Daisaku Ikeda as my mentor for 34 years as a Buddhist philosophy which I follow. He introduced me to the concept of peace, concept of sustainability, and he was an avid writer, which also prompted me to look at my life and share with others. But the real aspect of my mentor was that he was very passionate about United Nations to work towards peace and sustainability and environment and education of the world. I first got to know about sustainability as a concept from my mentor in 2002. And later on, when I continued to read the peace proposal, which he wrote for almost 40 years in his life, I also grew with that. I learned with that. I figured out so many aspects which I didn't know about. And then when I finally made my transition from private sector to United Nations in 2003, my ability to understand the sustainability became better. And finally, when I came into UNDP in 2016 at the start of Sustainable Development Goals, which were launched by United Nations. Right. So I came back from Africa. At that time, I didn't know I'll be doing this job, but I was very fortunate to be part of UNDP at that time, and we started working on Sustainable Development Goals. Then I continued, when I came back from Africa, I continued to meet with young people, and everybody would ask me, from the perspective that, sir, how did you transition from private sector to UN? The second bit here I want to introduce is that in the 37 years of my work experience within private sector, within United Nations, I must have changed about 10 organizations, right. Maybe 13 different cities, and in various countries as well as in India, and many twists and turns in life. So when I reflected on that, and my friend prompted me to reflect on it, that I am very fortunate that I have had a continuous career without any break. I reflected on it, and all these things came together. The youth asking me what exactly made me future proof. Am I reflecting on myself, that what is it that makes me future proof? My mentor's guidance and my work in UNDP, which tells me that sustainability and being future proof is akin to actually working towards an idea which makes the world future proof.
Right.
And I could see a kind of a thread linking all these together, which I could weave it in the form of a book right now.
It's absolutely amazing that how you have turned your ideas into reality, and this reality is in this book, I would say. So yeah, very nice actually. So my next question to you is that how young professionals, can effectively integrate the principles of sustainability into their career development, and what are these practical tips which they can actually take?
See, the most practical tip which we actually need to understand about sustainability is there are two aspects which I want to share. We want our careers to be sustainable.
Right.
We want all of us to have careers which are unstoppable, future proof, and changing with the times, and beautifully, shifting one gear to the other, and seamlessly we are growing with that. But that in reality doesn't happen. There are so many changes happening, and more so now that there's a disruptions happening at all kinds. The climate change is disrupting. I think the biggest disruptor, as we have seen, was COVID.
Right.
COVID itself is a result of many climatic changes which introduced the epidemics in the air, right? Now, the aspect of sustainability of career, at the same time COVID told us, is linked to the sustainability of our Mother Earth.
Correct.
We are not thinking about it, but we are also not realizing. We are saying, why am I under stress? Why am I being pushed around by my bosses, by my jobs, and I am not able to say anything, and I'm very uncertain, and I'm anxious about what is going to happen to me.
Right.
But for this, for a sustainable career or for a sustainable planet, we need sustainable mind. My book is basically working towards making the younger generation understand how to have that sustainable mindset. And there are 4 sustainable life principles and 5 sustainable self-development goals frameworks, which I have introduced in the book.
Oh, nice.
Coming together to help youngsters really become sustainable mindset first, which will then lead to having sustainable careers.
Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. Sir, adding to this, my next question is, as you're talking about the book, in your book you have also mentioned about AI and climate change, how they can be a threat, or I would say how can they impact the careers of emerging professionals.
Yeah.
So how the emerging professionals can navigate these challenges of AI and the climate change in their career. So what is your take on this?
I think all the professionals are already seeing the impact of AI.
Right.
Unknowingly, they are also seeing the impact of climate change. They are not confronting it like that. But what is happening in the common, if I would say the mass media, there's a lot of talk of AI bringing in change, AI changing this, AI changing that, and especially after ChatGPT coming in, everybody is kind of, trying to feel how can I integrate a ChatGPT into my work, and there are various facets to it, and I don't need to tell you, it is already changing the lives of many people. At the same time, there are universities and there are jobs, they are finding ways and means of not allowing people to just copy paste from ChatGPT,
very true,
but to have a critical thinking abilities,
right,
and to develop those abilities. So what my book is basically talking about is, yes, AI is bringing in change and there is a need to upskill for many things, but what common mass media and people are totally ignoring and not aware of is the wave of climate change and sustainability related jobs which are coming.
Nice.
So climate change is there, it is impacting the jobs. How? That every aspect and every sector is going to get impacted by sustainability, green technologies, green avenues of growth, green industries coming up, people having to take on green skills to really understand what is sustainability. As of now, we only understand climate change, temperature, air pollution, water pollution, and not beyond that.
Right.
But these are the problems which need to be sorted. And if you align your life to sorting out these problems, you will not be bothered about AI.
Right.
AI may be disrupting your career, but sustainability as a sector is offering you career opportunities. You just need to align yourself with sustainable development goals, understand how do I integrate that in my work, align with sustainability, and a whole new world opens up for you.
And this is something I think today's youth really needs to work upon. And when you're talking about making your career and exploring those avenues in the sector of sustainability, we come to hear about the word green jobs.
Yeah.
So can you just briefly explain what actually are green jobs? Are these jobs which are related to nurturing the plants, cleaning, or something else?
Well, see, first and foremost, really understand that sustainability sector. One study has very clearly talked about that it will be opening up an economy of worth $1 trillion by 2030 in India, only in India. I'm not talking the world. Which means new jobs are coming.
Absolutely.
Right? Sustainability related jobs. The green jobs you specifically asked are those jobs which are aligned with sustainability, which are helping promote and advocate and work towards making the planet more greener, which is helping the industries to become more sustainable and greener. And what do I mean by say greener? It means, you see, we all must understand that climate change is happening because of the kind of consumption levels we have reached, which are prompting the greenhouse gas emissions to increase manyfold. right? We are, let's say, traveling in the cars which are long distances and they are exuding smoke. There are huge dumps of waste outside our city. The way we are consuming these dumps are becoming better and bigger.
Correct.
Yeah. And those are pollutants and they are, actually emitting greenhouse gases. And then there is a whole thing about a lot of non-vegetarianism. There are factories which exist,
Correct.
which are producing beef, pork, etc. They
mass
are
level, actually.
mass levels. Even in agriculture, green gases which are emitted. So there is industry which is producing green gases, GHG emissions.
Right.
There is transport which is emitting. All these need to be reversed. So you are seeing that in transport, from the ICE vehicles we are now moving to EV for this specific purpose that the pollution which is being produced by them comes down.
Correct.
In energy sector we are moving to solar and hydel and not coal. Coal is the huge contributor to GHG emissions and of course petrol and diesel.
Right. Fossil fuels,
all of them. So we are trying to bring them down.
Right.
So any job which helps in actually emitting less of GHG emissions and more of carbon negativity it brings in, those are the jobs which are going to be green jobs. But at the same time, you may say that there are large number of service sector jobs, whether it is educators, whether it is doctors, whether it is the BPO people, IT people, are they emitting the green? So the point is, even in those areas, the fact is they may not be currently involved in directly contributing. They are sitting in the offices which are air conditioned and there is a consumption which is and the cars are moving to bring in back to the offices. They are all contributing to the larger sector. But now the avenues are opening up where, let's say, if your job is helping in managing green finance, a CA, which is really seeing, I was just reading the report right now in the banking sector, today's report, that RBI is saying that there will be huge amount of upskilling required because most of the mid-level jobs will be eliminated because of AI. The clerks, etc. will not be required.
Right.
What will they do?
So-called conventional jobs.
So then you need to look at green finance as an option. There are many other options which are coming up. So once you adopt yourself, align yourself, you become your job is becoming green job and you should know how to adapt to that.
So I think now we are very much clear about this concept, what actually is green job, and I think you have also mentioned in your book about the green job skill provider. I think Government of India has a council for it, Green Skill Development Council. So I think people can, especially young people,
absolutely,
they can reach out to this council and they can acquire those skills, the courses which actually they are providing. And I think we have a lot of universities and kind of think tanks who are providing such courses.
Absolutely.
But young people and youngsters, they are not aware about this and they are not heading towards this sector because of lack of awareness.
Absolutely.
And this book actually makes you, think that yes, this is also one of the sector which can make your career future proof. Adding to the conversation with my next question, so can you share your own example from your own career which you have applied towards sustainable practices which led to unexpected opportunities in your life? So can you just share with our audience basically?
See, when I was in private sector, I was in private sector from 1987 to 2003. I was in advertising and very fast enough. I was there for 16 years, but I started as a management trainee, but at the end of 13th year, I was a vice president of Lintas. So it was very quick rise, and because of the Indian economy opening up, many MNCs coming in, advertising was booming. At the same time, when I left it, there was an era which was just emerging, which was the digital marketing era.
Right.
But more than that, In my own life, I wanted to not add to the consumerism. I was feeling when I was in advertising that I think I know the way communication is done, the way information is utilized and communicated to promote the consumption of articles and durables and products which some people may not need, but because of the demonstration effect they want to have it. But I felt the same information skills and the communication skills can also be actually utilized for bringing social development,
Right.
which was not being used. I was looking for that, which is when I came across my job in UNICEF, and I was there as a communications person, and I also could examine that how can communication help in promoting polio drops, HIV/AIDS vaccinations, girls' education, child protection schemes, juvenile child protection schemes, and nutrition
Right.
amongst mothers and children. If communication can be used for that, that is something which I really wanted to do. And now the situation has changed so much that there are many opportunities in the social sector. There are many NGOs which are there. There are social policy organizations which are promoting this. And it somehow I feel that in my own career I have seen this shift now that everybody is becoming so-called woke. And we are talking of social issues. We are mentioning about environment, and we are really becoming vocal about that. So I'm very happy about that, and I am seeing that in a very large way there are young
people coming out,
and the other population which is moving towards this area.
Very true. So as we are referring to this, people coming out, my viewers often they are from the higher education or from the senior secondary classes. They have a very small question that how to fetch that kind of exposure when we are talking about environment sustainability. As a young leader or as a very aspiring student who wants to make his or her career in this field, how he or she should start as a very layman, because whenever a student steps out from class 12th, he gets that college environment or exposure, but sometimes the situations or the environment is not so worthy that he is very confused at what to do and how to start with.
Sure.
So sir, can you put some light on this part?
I think the first point, if anybody wants to do, is to really pick up this book and read it. They will get a very good comprehensive idea about the whole story. You don't need to go out and search for information. These days information is totally democratized, right? Everybody has access to YouTube and Google, and there is a whole lot of information. But what I have done in this book is synthesize that communication and information in one book which is methodical. Once you have read it, then you will also ask, okay, my interest lies in such and such area. Then in that specific area, you can definitely go out and learn from the internet. There are courses available, not many as of now, but there are universities or there are experts which are available. And in greengrowthguru.com, which I have also started as a follow-up for this, I am going to be bringing many experts to come and share their experiences also. Maybe they can continue, and my idea is that people who want to know the information and people who are experts, we will try to link them up and they can gain their knowledge also, but do your self-study also. There is lots available on YouTube and Google, but it will help you if you initially get a basic foundation laid by this book, and then from there you can start.
Very nice. And as you're mentioning about your, I would say, a brainchild or this kind of organization you've started, that is Green Growth Guru, a social media organization which is digitally. So this is going to really shape the career if anyone is trying to make in the field of sustainability.
I hope so.
It will definitely. And if you really want to know more about this, so we have the links mentioned in the description. I think it is available on LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram and YouTube, so you can just go and follow all those pages to stay tuned for the upcoming such informative courses.
Sure.
And kind of stuff which is really very informative. So coming forward to discussion, my next question is that as a student, when he or she goes on this path of sustainability, and after this reading this book he is taking such courses, but today we see that just getting classroom education is not suffice. People are just going and taking those degrees, but
my suggestion there is dirty your hands.
Okay.
Get down to doing something in an organization, not as an intern only, right? As an volunteer. Volunteer your work. You will get to know the real issues rather than theoretical issues. Theoretical knowledge, I think, is fast becoming outdated.
Correct.
The future is that the education which we are getting in college and universities will not be the differentiator. The differentiator will be on your biodata, where all have you worked, what all different kind of experiences you've had in terms of maybe appearing in a debate, maybe appearing at a particular plantation exercise which you started on your own maybe, or interning in a organization where you learned the basics in a very different way, or volunteering in an NGO or starting your own NGO. At least aligning yourself to a issue, a social issue, a green issue, a sustainability issue, an environment issue, which really will bring out the real aspect of study or education. Don't just depend on bookish knowledge. That's what I would like to say.
And this is the, I would say, need of the hour.
Absolutely.
And today, if you are looking towards making yourself pro, then you have to step out, and then something you need to do in practical terms.
Absolutely.
So looking ahead for the last question and ending this conversation, my question is that what are some emerging trends in sustainability that you think will significantly impact the job market, and how can students and young professionals prepare themselves for these challenges? So what is your take on this? I think like 3 best tips for the students.
See, the most important aspect of sustainability as a sector per se, I am trying to share this, that today sustainability itself is also changing very fast. The very important thing which I have learned in my life, which I have shared in my book also, is to be forever ready for change, to be open-minded about change. Things are not going to be linear in one direction only. Well, you are going in one direction, and that same happened in my career.
Right.
I was growing in one line, but then I encountered I need to go into different things. So what I am referring to here is you need to be an expert in pivoting. Pivot into newer area faster. Adapt into the newer circumstance faster. For that, the second thing which we need to learn is we need to continuously learn. No longer can we be surviving with just the education that we are getting until the university. After university, education doesn't stop. In jobs, you continue to upgrade yourself. Continue to know what is the new thing which is coming up. And I cannot even predict right now because the future is changing so fast. But the areas which are emerging, definitely, if you ask me, like there is environment, social governance, ESG norms which are coming up in each private entity. Right now, SEBI has introduced these norms for the 1,000 top corporates, and they need to report on it. But very soon, almost 1 lakh to 2 lakh corporates which are doing the work, including MSMEs, they will be required to report on this. And where will the reporters come from? Where will the people come from? It's a market which is waiting to be burst open. Get into that and you will find there are jobs after jobs, and learn along the way when you go. That's what I want to say.
That's something actually I would say very beneficial, and it is going to be really something which is going to change the job market.
Absolutely.
So coming to the end of today's discussion, I would say that if as a youth you are looking forward, it is all about stepping out, first reflecting on yourself, that what actually you want to do in your life, defining goals. And I think this book, gives you a very clear vision, and as sir told, that you can really define that where actually your interest lies, and then you can fetch those internships, trainings, courses, and volunteer as much as you can. And when you start doing these services, automatically that kind of confidence, and you become nearer to your goals. So this is all for today, and I hope you must have enjoyed this discussion and looking forward for more. And the link to buy this book is in the description. If you have any problems or queries, you can reach to me on my Instagram. I am there to help you as always. So let's meet in the next session. Till the time, do not forget to subscribe, share and follow the page. And at last, a big thanks to sir who took his valuable time and gave to us. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
All the very best.
Thank you.